Well, hello and welcome. This is the MoJo Monday testimonial call with Zallevo. We want to welcome everybody. I'm Robert here at my home office here. Yes, I'm in Texas today, this evening. And my co-host with the most,
Mr. Jim Rhodes. And if I holler in the other room, I can ask my wife where I am too. Because usually she says I'm in a state of confusion, but I am in Utah. So it's a pleasure to be on this call. It's always one of the funnest ones because this is where it's real and raw. Just us peoples sharing us's stories.
Yes, this is some awesome peeps. So we want to welcome everybody. And it's always fun. We said this 100 times, but it's always fun to say this. Guys, do you realize that everybody on this screen right now, the recording or the live, you are doing what 95% of the population on the planet don't do? What's that?
Show up. There you are. I can see you. Just don't show off. No, just kidding. Show up and show that you care about your health journey and other people's also by learning and gathering knowledge. And as you apply that knowledge, it becomes wisdom, and you can have often quite better outcomes if you apply good principles.
Yeah, well said, Jim. All right, guys, so with your permission, I'm going to do a little screen share. We do want this around for our grandkids and their kids, so we have to be compliant. So we're also going to tee up in just a moment. We do a little promo for the upcoming call. So let me put up a couple slides here, Jim, before you go into the disclaimer. So
Absolutely.
1 second. Let me make sure my sound. And here is, can you see my slide, Jim?
Yes, sir. I sure can. Okay, welcome to MoJo Monday, where we are sharing our personal stories. We're not doctors. We don't prescribe. We don't diagnose. And if we are sharing products, which we're doing for educational purposes, always consult with your physician if you're taking medication or under doctor's care. When you change your diet in any way, just make sure that they're monitoring you. And these results don't necessarily happen for everybody that we're going to hear tonight, but we do believe that when you feed the body what it needs, the body can respond in a very positive manner, and that's why we're sharing them. So these are all heart shared, and it's from the company called Zallevo, and that means to lift ourselves to our highest potential. The Z standing for zenith, the highest point in an arc, and levo, Latin for to lift. And that's literally what these master formulations are designed to do. And having studied nutrition for the last, I won't tell you how old I am, but a long, long time, I've never seen anything even close to being able to do what these master formulations are doing for so many so quickly. So you're in for a treat. Tonight's great subject is restful sleep and why that's so important. We already know, because we've discussed stress on a former call, that stress is the silent thief of our health because it uses up all of our energy in replaying and replaying and replaying and taking all of our energy, so our immune system doesn't even have enough energy to fight any enemies that may creep in. And when we do not get proper sleep and rest, we don't have time for the regeneration of broken, old, or discarded cells to replace them. And it also increases our stress level. It goes straight up. In fact, an example of how to break even a Green Beret who's been trained to be the strongest and some of the best of our fighting men and women is all they have to do is deprive them for 3 days of sleep, and they end up, believe it or not, in the fetal position crying like a baby because their physical body breaks down so much and cannot catch up that every cell of their body is in trouble, saying, can't handle it anymore, just let me rest, let me sleep.
Wow.
So we'll be talking about restful sleep.
We will be. So essential, isn't it? And here are the upcoming calls so we can plan ahead for. We have next Monday, we'll be having some individuals on tonight on the MoJo Monday, next Monday. We're talking about many of them will not be athletes at all. They'll be individuals who simply take care of themselves, and they've been able to gain strength. And so we'll hear a variety of stories about gaining lean muscle. The next Monday will be strengthening our immune system. So many of us in this community, my goodness, there's been some major shifts in the frequency and even the impact of some of the many of us had journeys of recurring. How can I say this compliantly? Just things attacking our body that our body couldn't fight off. I'll say it that way. And so many of us have had some amazing shifts with that. And then the following Monday, we have a new formulation in our line, which is the alkalizing greens. And many of us I for one, am falling in love with it because of how it makes me feel and how it strengthens my body and immune as well. So we got some exciting stuff coming up, Jim.
Yes, we do. You don't want to miss. I'm really excited about that last one you just talked about, alkalizing the body and doing things that really, really help the body do its own repair, as well as all the nutrients that are in those incredible greens called
Amen.
Vital Core.
Amen, big brother. So I'm excited. So the most important part of this call are the stories, the real life human journeys that we're about to lean into and gain from. And I was on, and let me tee this lady up, and we have a new challenge called the Trans with a Z, as in Trans Am. So Transform Challenge, and this beautiful shining lady on there said, I am just, my whole body shifting, my health, my wellness, including my sleep. And I'd heard of this lady from other people of how radiant she was, how big of an impact she's making. She's inspiring. And she's up in the Sandpoint, way north in the Idaho. I'm assuming that's where you're at this evening. And it is, see if I can, it's a long name here. So Susie, help us out with the official, your full name.
McClellan.
Okay, McClellan, okay. Susie
as my husband likes to say, like General George B. in the Civil War.
I love it. So welcome to the call. And Susie, if you can share with us how you were introduced, how long you've been on, and I'd love you to talk about maybe a couple of the primary challenges, especially around how the stress load, including how you were sleeping, if you were sleeping much, and how you've seen a shift there. So guys, please welcome Miss Susie, and let me change you over to the speaker mode there. There we go. Welcome, Susie.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Robert, for reaching out, because it's been a journey for sure. I was first introduced to Zallevo through my sister, who most of you, I think, know, Tanya Falk, back in November, when I had gone down to visit her. And she's so sweet, because she just says to me, do you trust me? I said, yeah. And so she goes, here, drink this. So I did. And in the 2 days that I spent with her, I thought, man, this feels really good. I like this. And so she got me all signed up and going. But for me, I'm 48 years old and have battled insomnia for as long as I can remember. My mom talks about, as a child, I didn't take naps like most kids did. I remember in preschool fighting during nap time. I hated nap time because all the other little kids were asleep and I had nothing to do. And at 12 years old, I can remember being up 1, 2, 3 in the morning reading because there was nothing else to do, and then up again at 5, 6, 7 in the morning for school. So it's sort of been a pattern my whole life. And then later in life, having kids, they drain a little more energy out of you. And the lack of sleep between kids and my lack of ability to sleep, our routine was that my husband would take them every Saturday afternoon, and I would try to get a little extra something. Most of the time it didn't work. Every now and then, maybe once, twice a year, I might sleep for about 15 hours. And then it was back to an average of 3 to 6 hours of very interrupted sleep each night. So that was my life. I just functioned however I thought I was supposed to. But then after being introduced to that, and I don't know if I can say this, but Fortitude 85 in particular, in the beginning of January, it took me a while to realize, oh my goodness, you're sleeping a solid 6 hours at night, not interrupted anymore. And I thought, well, that's really cool. I like this. I could deal with this. And now I'm to the point of, I average about 7 hours in a night. Some nights not quite so much, but roughly 7 hours every night. And the difference it makes for me is when my alarm goes off in the morning, if I haven't already woke up, I'm ready to go. I'm up and going. Probably the biggest reason that I got into this journey in the beginning was because about 2 years ago, I was hospitalized for 3 months with COVID pneumonia, and I lost 30% body mass. I barely walked out of that hospital. I was on oxygen for nearly a year. And yeah, I literally have been in recovery mode for the last 2 years, but the last 6 months of that has accelerated so amazingly. And on top of the ability to sleep, it almost brings me to tears, because here I am, 48 years old, and finally living the life I should have always had. And getting back into work and running around with my grandkids and just really, really enjoying life. So.
Wow.
Wow is right. So I'm going to ask everybody to unmute for a moment, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and on 3, just say, love you, you're awesome, whatever you want to say to this beautiful lady for stepping up and sharing so authentically. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Thank you.
Susie.
So
Appreciate you sharing your
amazing.
story with us.
Well,
Wow.
thank you. You guys have all been inspiring to me too. It's awesome to hear from each of you.
And what would you say to, what's one close, I know you got to go, you got a graduation.
Yeah.
What's one closing thought? If somebody's skeptical, they're not quite sure about this crazy thing called, starts with a Z, what would you tell them to?
Give it a try. For me, like I said, 2 days and I noticed a difference. And by the time I got back home, I'm like, Tanya, when's this stuff coming? I want it again, you know. But for some other people that I've been able to share this with, it's taken a little longer, but I'd say definitely give it a good 30 days. Really try it out and pay attention to your body. Even the littlest differences can have a huge impact down the road.
Wow, so well said. Susie, love to have you on again on one of the future calls, and you are inspiring. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Sorry I have to run out early, but
Thank you.
You
You're the
are
best.
good. You are the best.
Wow. Inspiring.
Wow, if that doesn't inspire you, I'm not sure what will. Anybody
Just
agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know she was Tanya's sister. And after this call, I got to message Tanya and just say, hey, you realize, and she knows it, but I'm going to remind her how big of an impact she's making on her family. So anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing we do here, guys. So let me go over on that same genre of thought. I'm going to ask a very loving and amazing mom and dad to kind of step in and tee up this next testimonial. Is a lady who had the wonderful blessing to have an all expense paid trip to Costa Rica a little over a year ago. And Joy and I met this beautiful lady, and it was pretty quick, pretty darn quick. You could tell who her mom and dad were. Okay. She's a ray of light and sunshine, and just passionate, full of light, all heart. But that all being said, the sobering part about it, once Joy and I heard a glimpse of it there, and now more of it because of these calls we've done, it is truly a very emotional journey for this now vibrant, mature, this lady. She's still a very young lady, but her early childhood and what she's been through. Tonight, we're focusing on only one aspect. When you hear this story in just a minute, it'll be a virtual testimonial because she could not make it tonight, but she stepped up and recorded a testimonial just this morning. And I asked Cindy and Gary to kind of introduce her story and maybe give us just a really succinct little quick glimpse into what this young lady has gone through from childhood to this point. So Cindy and Gary Talley.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, we are so thankful to Zallevo.
Yes.
And number one was because I got in this, that God gave me this business to share these
Yes.
products with our daughter. So from an early age, you know, she always had health issues, and we've just been on this journey of trying to find products that would help her. And we found some really good products that have helped her through the years, but nothing like the results that she's had when she got started with these products, like right away. And so it has to do with her immune system, but she's just been in a lot of discomfort, and she just has not been able to sleep. I just remember as a teenager, she was always awake late. Then she, you know, when she'd finally get to sleep, she'd tell me, Mom, it was like 4 a.m. And so she'd want to sleep in. So it's hard to get her up early because she always just wanted to sleep in because I can't sleep. So, and she got to read and stuff like that, keeping herself up. So related to that story, you have nothing else to do but in your room, but read.
Might as well read.
Yeah. So, you know, just watching the change in her was just a miracle. Nothing, you know, what a miracle of what good nutrition can do in the body. And number one, to help her sleep.
Yeah.
And so when we went and visited her shortly after, and we started seeing that she went from not being able to hardly have a part-time job to now working a full-time job and almost full-time ministry, and just a very, very busy life, and being able to, plus working out, she works out every day now. She was a personal trainer. She doesn't have time to do that job because she's busy working as a assistant to the director of social services at a very busy rehab facility, short and long-term rehab for patients. So it's just amazing to see her get to live this life. And it's all because it started with these products putting it in. She's sleeping better. She's having less discomfort. So I think we should just let Jessalyn tell you about, you know, the specifics around the
Changed
sleep.
everything.
It
Changed
did.
her marriage. It changed everything.
Mhm.
Wow. From 2 parents who've been through a lot with their beautiful daughter. So, all right. So this video it's kind of grainy, but that's okay, because just listen to the video, and yeah, the share, she definitely shares the story. So right before we show the video, I'm going to show you a couple pictures. One is a month in and one is a few more months in, and you could see even the tone and the musculature that also transpired because of the nutrition along with the rest cycle. So let me first of all show you this. Let me expand it. What are we looking at here, Cindy and Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while back. It was amazing to see. She, after she got married and before she started this journey, she was almost up to 200 pounds. And so to watch her get down to like the 150,
Whatever.
60 mark and develop muscle and just start feeling better, it was just amazing watching her body transform.
Yeah, that was a really fun before and afters there. So here is Miss Mia. Let me see if I can pull up a cleaner way to show it. I had it up a while ago. Bear with me, guys. I know how I showed it cleaner. 1 second.
And it.
He went to a different.
No, I just had it, but I wanted to do a cleaner way to show it. So just bear with me, guys. I tried to put it into the slideshow, but for some reason it wouldn't do that. Bear with me. Yep. I just wanted to show it in a way that was clean, and yeah. 1 second, guys. It's coming up. I think I overloaded my computer today. It's taken long. I may just have to play the, let's see, here it is. Okay, we're almost there. Here it is. Okay, here is Miss Jessalyn.
Lively here. I'm just popping on to share one aspect of my life that these products have absolutely transformed. And I use the word transform specifically because that is one of our new challenges that Zallevo has presented to us. And this part of the challenge, I feel like, is the most vital to our physical and overall health, and that would be sleep. So I want to share a little bit about what these products have done for my life by transforming my sleep life. Now, a little backstory. Back since I was a kid, I always struggled with some sort of sickness or illness, you could say. And I felt like I never truly got rest. And especially growing up as a teenager, I struggled with sleep. I felt like I could never get enough sleep. I was, surviving on like sometimes 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours a night, and struggling throughout the day, never truly feeling rested. And I know how vital sleep is to our life. I mean, to our mental health. People literally have gone insane by not getting enough sleep. And your body, without enough sleep, how are you supposed to truly recover and rejuvenate? So when my mom first had me try these products, I remember taking them, and immediately the first thing I noticed is I fell asleep and I slept through the night. Like a solid 7 hours through the night. And it might be normal for some of you, not normal for me at all. 6 hours max. But I slept. It was over 7 hours. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel rested. I was waking up before feeling like I needed to go back to sleep. I sprung up out of bed before my alarm clock. And when I first started the challenge with Zallevo, I was taking these products so consistently. I was taking my burn mode, my 4285, and a little bit of everything, right? When I would take a burn mode before bed, I didn't wake up like one time, and I'd wake up the next morning feeling like I was like the Energizer Bunny. And that was never me. I was never a morning person, especially as a teenager. But now, after taking these products, I actually look forward to laying in bed every single night because I know that I'm going to be sleeping, and it's going to be good sleep, and I'm going to wake up feeling rested. I actually cannot thank Zallevo enough for creating these products that have transformed my sleep life, because it's transformed every other aspect of my life by just being able to rest. Hey, good morning, y'all.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
Once
wow.
again, if that doesn't inspire you, I'm not sure what will. Once again. So I would love to get one closing thought from Dad. I know we hear from Cindy a lot. So Gary, what's one closing thought if there was somebody who was looking at this a little bit skeptical? So what would be your comment to them?
What do you have to lose?
Mhm.
We.
Yeah. It's very
I
emotional.
get choked up when talk about my kid.
Yeah.
But to watch
Mhm.
her literally transform, watch her change in front of us,
Mhm.
in front of those who know her. You guys didn't know her before. But that is,
She's a different person.
she is. And I said early on, it even changed her marriage. It changed everything. And,
Mhm.
if you know somebody, you just got to
Share
say
it.
something. And we did it out of love.
Mhm.
So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's about as powerful as it gets. Love and light to you both. Speaking of that, Gary and Cindy, your rays of light. Thank you both for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for raising that beautiful girl and for her being able to share with us. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's blessed your marriage as well in many ways. So thank you both. So we do have one last story, and I'm going to ask Carol to tee this story up. Again, the third testimonial, again, we all live busy lives. I think she had something at church or a prayer meeting, or I'm not sure what it was. Is Carol here? Where's Carol at? There she is. So I'm going to have Carol introduce her briefly. A powerful story on a very different note, because there was deeper, more restful sleep, and they were dreaming again. And it was because of a product that you may not connect to restful sleep. It's a really cool story, and we're going to play that video. Before we do, I'll have Sarah just introduce us to this beautiful lady. Yeah, Carol.
Okay. Well, yes, this is Sarah Baumgartner. She owned the local health food store up a little north of where I live. Very much an expert on things. Well versed. Even when I lived in Amarillo, I'd have her ship things down from me. She was that well versed. And she had never engaged in any of the things that I had done over the years, but we had, kept in contact through church and other things around town. But anyway, she came. I asked her to come to an event like this one time, and she kind of was listening. And when it got to the gut biomes, the daily and the trim, she was like, "Oh, they've isolated those particular bacteria." She was really quite excited. And so that's where she started. She won a gift and stuff. But anyway, the biomes was what really spoke to her. And now she's on many of the products, but I don't know. I don't have a clue what she's saying because I didn't know that she was one of the guests tonight. But
Okay. Well, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, Carol. And by the way, Carol is one of our top leaders and she's a close friend. So thank you for sharing your heart with Sarah. So let me play this for you, everybody. And here it is. And let me pull up the play button. All right, here's Miss Sarah. She's up in North Texas, right close to Carol there.
Hey, I just wanted to give a quick testimony about how much Zallevo has helped our sleep. We started taking the Biome Sync trim, and I was amazed at how much it improved our sleep. We sleep longer without waking up. We dream again. I started dreaming again. My husband dreams a lot more often. We sleep deeper, and just overall have felt like our sleep has improved dramatically. The only other product that we were on at the same time as this is the Collagen 300. So I'm not sure which one was doing it, but I do believe the Biome Sync trim was the key factor in it, because I know that in all the studies I've done, the probiotics really do help with sleep. So we're very happy about all that. Thanks.
Short and sweet, to the point, so, and powerful. So let me see if I can get back to the group here. There we are.
Here.
All right. Thank you, Carol, for introducing Sarah. And again, Sarah has been around nutrition, as Carol said, for years and years, and she was so well versed, and she's a wealth of knowledge. So hopefully you've had a little deeper understanding of the impact our products are making overall, and of course on one of the key components of vitality and health, wellness, energy, every aspect of the body to get a good night's sleep. So Jim, closing thought.
Well, they mentioned a couple of products there that will help our sleep, and I understand the mechanics of both of them, why they could help do that. Here's the bottom line. Put it to the test. That's the whole key. Put these things in your body, because the body knows what to do with it once it's there to give you what you're looking for. And if you can't get good sleep, you will not be your best self. You just can't, because it robs all of your energy to do that. You have to have a regeneration time as well as restful time for everything to come up so that you can perform at your highest potential.
Well said. So guys, amazing stories, yes? Heartfelt stories, and especially
Great.
the tallies. Thanks for being on. Susie's already off the call, but we'll make sure we thank her as well. If you see her on, those of you in the Transform Challenge, feel free to say, hey, thanks, Susie. We love your story, as well as the tallies. Love you guys. And obviously Sarah Baumgartner. All right, so next week, once again, is gaining. Who wants some good, solid, lean muscle? Whether it's not here, this is about a noggin here, but yeah, good solid lean muscle in our body. And look at the biggest lean muscle of all, the heart is the internal. So guys, it's going to be fun over the next few weeks. Thank you all for being here. We are truly on a mission with this company to really make a difference in people's lives. People are praying for answers. Let's have the courage and the heart and the passion to reach out, as Cindy and Gary reminded us, with love, to offer them a gift. So guys, Jim, could you do a countdown? We always yell out one of our favorite core values. What is that core value, Jim?
That core value that I love is force for good, because that's what we can be if we choose to. So at the count of 3, everyone, if you will, and you can raise your hands like I do, because it just gives me more energy. And we'll repeat force for good. Ready?
Unmute.
Yes, unmute. We want to hear you. 2, 3.
Force for
Good.
good.
Yes. Yes,
you
you
guys.
are. You're beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you for showing up.
Appreciate you.
You're the
Thank you,
best.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Sarah,
That was
Forrest, Carol.
amazing.
Have a
Bye,
good night.
Carol. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Barbara.
Good night, all. God bless.
Night, John Boy.
Goodbye.